Another beautiful day. Eugene up there getting it done. Arch has turned out pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's a little right now with that top up there.
Oh yeah, that looks nice. Looks nice. We got some people crawling around on the roof today. Hopefully none of them fall off and hit Ray.
Oh, I'm gonna catch them.
They actually got safety in mind, man. We can learn something from them.
Oh yeah. Hey, they got them waters down there. They're looking like that in the circus.
See him up there? It's the same group that's roofing over there at the major project. We used them on some other stuff. So they are getting their safety gear and everything set up. Their goal is to start putting on the synthetic underlayment and ice and water shield. And I got the stuff for all the soffits. For the soffits, the trim board here, the fascia board, is going to be a 1x8. So it's pretty substantial, and then underneath gets some different stuff. So you'll see that. Yeah, they're getting all their stuff prepped and ready to go. Hopefully the guys actually go ahead and put some ropes on if they're gonna, have the safety gear on. It'd be nice. Make me feel a little better because they're up there. It's crazy. I was gonna fly the drone. In fact, I need to for the final video that y'all should have seen by now. Yeah, I don't want to startle them, so I'll wait till lunchtime and fly the drone. Rather than anybody getting startled and, causing issues. Casey and the guys in here doing the inside of the arch. So you see, that's the back side. And then they'll just fill all this in so it looks just like the outside does. The only difference between the upstairs and downstairs is going out this way will also have an arch where downstairs it's straight across because it gets spiral staircase going off. So. So they'll pull that all up into there, and then we'll just put our ceiling in, and there you go. Let's go check on Okie dokie. They're prepping that side. See? That, and then that'll give you the other side of the ceiling, so that this part can be finished. They can finish up all that little stuff. I've got the fireplaces picked out, so I can put the sizes on that. That's their support harnesses.
The roofers have arrived, so their job today is to put ice and water shield in the multiple valleys, and to put synthetic underlayment down everywhere else, and to go around and put drip edge on. Also, the exterior trim guys are here. They're from the same company, and you're going to see they're putting on the 1x8 fascia that goes over top of the 2x4s that were ran all around for the soffits. It's like everything. It's a step-by-step process that has to be done to correctly be prepared for the next stage. So by doing all this, they can get closer to being ready to put the roof covering on. Now, these guys don't play around with their safety like some of the other contractors do. First thing they did is start nailing up rope tie downs. Raymond and the crew, my framing crew, they left 2x4s in place for the roofers to walk on to begin with. The same ones they used when they were putting the sheathing on. So they tossed those off, and it's a challenge to set up the camera where we can capture something and also the camera doesn't get run over. So I do my best, and then I'm recording in, let's see, when it's time lapse, it's like 4K. Otherwise, I'm recording in 5.3, and then YouTube scales it down. These guys drive about an hour and a half to get here, but it's the crew that we use for a lot of jobs on the other side of Raleigh going towards Greensboro. So they wanted to continue doing the work. I feel like what I've seen in the market and talking to other builders and going to the shows and talking to the subs, I do feel like we're going to have a slowdown in the building industry. Some of that is just because we're coming up on the holidays and this time of year, but it gets a little scarce. We're blessed to have a couple more jobs coming up first of the starting. We'll be breaking ground. We're under contract first of the year. So we try to keep the subs engaged, the guys that we depend on to do good work and show up when they say they're going to. We try to make sure that we give them all the work we can. A different view Tell you what, this boom lift has come in super, super handy. Everybody loves that I've got it. We take it to all the jobs. You can see they put the ice and water shield on the round areas now. That's the black stuff. And they're going around doing the fascia. So the flat fascia boards are all cement board. They're hardy. And then the round areas get a PVC so that it's flexible to bend around, get what we need. Access around is important. They get the entire house done except for the back where the pool is, because you see the scaffolding is there. Casey and the guys were finishing up the brick arches, and they couldn't get the boom lift in there. So I don't think I filmed it, but they came back about a week ago and went ahead and finished up those couple pieces. And the other side of the gable that's what they needed to get finished. So coordination is super important, and it's tough, especially, I mean, you get in, obviously, whenever we can pick and choose jobs, we love having fields where it's on some land and we've got some room. As you get into tight neighborhoods, I mean, you really have to coordinate and think about where materials go and all that, because you can easily burn up a budget just by paying some guys to sit there and move stuff around. It doesn't seem like a lot when you have to. I've learned a lot about that with this project, is trying to put it, how the delivery guys put it. You know, it used to be, I just put it anywhere, we'll move it kind of thing. And sometimes that's what you have to do, like the materials for the roof. I mean, the roof's everywhere, so we kind of have to do that. But whenever possible, we have to strategically think about where these materials are going.
Back out here again. I've been out at the major project. I don't know if you've seen the latest video or if I have it out by the time I'm doing this, but anyway. So they got that, the arches in, they got the inside part of it in. They started building these two columns. This one down here did not get an arch. It just got it straight open because this gets a staircase. So you won't see this at all. That gets a staircase. But up there we'll get one or two, actually more, to finish coming around that side. And then we got the staircase that'll come down. Yeah, and the brick will go all the way up, covering the zip up there. Yep, so they're putting the 1x7s for the fascia. That's all hardy, so cement board. And then we had to use PVC for the round areas because, you know, it needs to bend. That looks pretty good, right? Coming on down, they start putting the drip edge on too as they went. So that's ready. A lot of comments about what's the roof's gonna be. What we're doing is, it's a gaff shingle, but it's not the series that they sell. Like, you can see them on Home Depot. They've got a series that says antique slate. It's not that, it's the special order series where the shingle, when you look at the side of a shingle, they're like that thick, where these are like thick, like real thick tabs. It looks like slate. They're gonna outlast me. So there you go. So that's going on. The round area for the tower we built up there and the one for the library are getting copper. These will be shingle. I do have to get the little, like the weather vanes or lightning rods or whatever we want to put on these peaks, and I've got to get a couple of for the top of this one. So I need to get on that actually and get that happening. You see the brick, you just got to finish this little section here and a little section next to the front entrance. The door should be in, the windows actually might be in. We're not going to start installing those until everybody else is gone and we can finish doing cleanup around here. So those should be in soon. Oh, Chris is coming. Yellow?
Good morning.
Good morning.
What was our total limits of clearing up here? Was it 6 acres?
That sounds right.
Okay. I mean, like, is it right, or pretty close?
It is right. Yeah, it's 6 acres.
All right. Because I went around and GPS'd everything this morning, and we're right at, believe it or not, we're only at 3 acres around the house. But we have to figure in, the driveway and that stuff up front, which is going to be another acre. So we're at 4 right now. So we'll probably come in just a touch under 6 acres just to be safe. But so we pretty much got about another 1 3/4 acres we can take down, which will be beside the house and then maybe a little bit more out back. So
okay.
I just wanted to kind of let you know where we were on that.
Gotcha. Okay,
and
perfect.
I may push that corner back a little bit farther on top.
Anyway, getting my wires ran for around the doors, because that's what I was saying. So the windows are at the plant or at the warehouse. So we'll probably try to go ahead and put those in a couple weeks, maybe less. The doors are coming in end of November. Once we install those, then Casey will be able to finish the brickwork like around the doors and on the back porch around those doors. And so once that happens, we'll be dried in, which will be great. Then I've got stone to put around. Once the windows are in, there's a little bit of brick and some stone work that goes around the windows. I've got to do some more zip tape. I've got, I started taping this one of course, on the other side where I'm not filming right now, but taping the seams. I got to tape the seams of that one, and the gables. So I got to get that done. And they did this yesterday too. So I told Okie Dokie he could do whatever they felt was the best. And this is what he came up with. So that ceiling comes across all the way in here now flat. Not terrible, as we were getting up into that higher area, started getting all the little corners come in. So we lost, so that's 6 inches, probably about 14 inches of height, but I mean, it's still 2 stories tall. It's got the big opening, and it'll be a little easier to cover and do whatever we want to do for the ceiling. There you go. So that is the ceiling. So that is center of the room. Unfortunately, it's not center of the bed, but we knew that. It's just how the area worked out. So that's center of the room. Did a walkthrough yesterday on electrical and everything. Josh and I will do a lot of the electrical ourselves, but Gustavo's crew is going to come in and help us so we can get a lot of it knocked out. We talked about where panels were going, lighting control panels, all that. So that's figured out. I've got to finalize the fireplaces, which we picked them out. I just got to talk with the company and just really 100%, this is what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. But I can give him the dimensions, they can build the boxes for those. And he said today they are going to come in and go ahead and start working on the opposite side of the ceiling over here so that this will start looking like it's gonna look. And I think I've already said it in the video, but if not, coming off the top of that steel beam, we're gonna wall that off. So when you're in here, you've got wall on both sides up top. You got the angle of the ceiling coming in from the left. And then when you walk into the breakfast area, it's just its own ceiling instead of it trying to carry through. It's just gonna be too much ridiculousness to make that happen. Lighting panels for the main floor are going upstairs. We'll just reach everything from the top, which is nice. We'll have a lot of videos on that. Control 4 is what we're using for lighting control. Shades are still up in the air of who I'm gonna use. DMF is supplying all the can lights, Control 4. And then Snap AV is a company that was actually started in North Carolina. It's been sold a few times, and now ADI owns it, which they actually own Control 4 as well. We're using their amps and some other stuff. So it's going to be a lot of automation stuff is promised. So I will get into details on that.
We've got Juan, nicknamed Okie Dokie, and Enrique building their own scaffold. This is not something I would walk on, which is saying something, but they held it up at each end. They do put some braces inside. And the whole purpose of this is so we can finally go ahead and close in the ceiling for the family room so you can see what I've talked about it several times, but now you're going to actually see what it looks like. So they're going to go in, and we could have just done a 2x6, but we had a bunch of 2x8s left, and it does give us a little bit more depth with the can lights and everything. So 2x8s are being used to form from our perspective right now, the left side to match the right side angle so that we end up with a cathedral, basically a triangle. And then up at the top, they're going to cut in a 2x6. I think it might be a 2x8 to make a flat ceiling down the middle. That area is very difficult to get taped and the seam stay right with sheetrock. Plus, being able to mount boxes like for the chandeliers and fans, whatever goes in here, it's helpful to have a flat area at the top. So where the peak of the triangle comes together, instead of keeping that a peak, you put a flat board in to give you something to mount to. This is going to end up being, well, no, it's not. I thought it was going to be a short video, but actually it's not. Okay. Who's that? Is that me? Oh, I'm showing Brian and his wife, Tarika. Brian's, drives I call it the Green Goblin. Not sure what he calls it, but the big trucks move stuff around for us. We're going to start building their house. We've got the final plans. And with it coming up on November, this is probably going to be a February start. But that'll give us some time to finalize the engineering and just figure out how it's going to go. It's going to be a very neat house. It's a different design than you usually see around here, which is great because I like doing things that are different. I don't like doing the same cookie cutter stuff. So that's going to be awesome. And she is a chef, so I'm actually going to be getting some of her insight as to how we should prepare the summer kitchen downstairs, which will need to be available to caterers. Make sure we have things that they're going to ask for.
Tonight, I'm taking Mrs. Beelygood to the Twilight Orchestra thing. That's what I got her for her birthday. She loves it, whatever. So it's where they play Twilight the movie on the screen, and there's an orchestra playing or something. So, I mean, whatever. So we'll be at DPAC tonight. It won't matter because this video will come out after we've already been there. But if anybody else went to it, maybe I'll see you there.